Take these broken eyes and learn to fly all my life. You were only waiting for this moment to arrive. Blackbird fly. Blackbird fly. Into the night. Black night. Right, where was I? I think I was working on Ashley's. Let's see where this is. Let's see, edits. So here I'm on Riverside, and I quite like Riverside because there's a lot of stuff that it helps you with. Like here I'm in one of the projects, one of the recordings, and check it out, it gives you like a whole bunch of magic clips that it pulls from the episode and segments that are a bit longer, like 4 or 5 minute segments, and then nice short hooks, which is pretty good. So now I want to edit an episode, but I don't remember. Let's go to hosting. Let me see what the last one I put in for hosting. 3 episode 2, 3 episode 3, storytelling is Gale. Okay, so we just started the 3rd episode. Okay, so Susan, I guess, is the next one. Let's see. Okay, so this one says Susan to publish. So usually I say to publish when I've chosen one and I'm putting it together. Okay, and I can see music at the beginning and music at the end. So let's see what this sounds like now. I'll just play that. Okay, so that's good. I'm happy with that. We've got a little short that is from our guest that's like snappy and to the point. And then it goes into me giving the introduction to our guest and starting the conversation. So great, happy with that. Listen to the volume between. Okay, good. So I think there was a laugh there, so I'm just going to delete that and that. Good. And then I'm going to just change my volume slightly and bring it down a tad. Up a bit. Let's see. Okay, Joe needs to come up a bit, so we'll bump that to 120-ish. Okay. Up. I'll bring that down a tad. So now our volumes should be equalized some. And now I'm going to buzz up to like 50. And I'm going to find a little snippet, which is a good spot for us to do that. And putting a little this coffee is strong. Let's work. Let's try here. Okay, so I'm going to delete that bit, and then I'm going to put it in a cut here. And then when you do that and you just hover over the cut, it allows you to add different things. And so I'm going to add a little short of music. Well, this is like adverts being like sign up for our social media, yada, yada, yada. And I'll just drag it down to the section that was recorded. And we'll just go a little bit before, and then I'll just have a listen and see what that sounds like. So we'll press play. Okay, so the volume was way loud. I'm going to drag that down to cents. And drag it in a bit. All right, so now I'm going to delete this sentence here because it doesn't fit anymore. So now we'll go straight from what our guest was saying into a little social media blurb, and then cut out something that didn't make sense, and then me carrying on the discussion. And it's not bad. It's around 18 minutes, so a little further than what I usually put it as. But if you see here, our guest is the purple pink line, and they're doing a lot of talking. So it was tough to break it up because even when someone else is talking, I think that's Joe Lern, you can see that it's a conversation going back and forth. And so I have to find a place to stop it where that point in the conversation comes to a close and we move on to another topic. So pretty happy with that there. And now I'm just going to drop. So that's at 25 minutes. Let's find something around 30 minutes. Here is our guest talking. Let's see what's here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to put in a break. And then I'm going to add the same little social media clip, because why not? But maybe that's a different one. I think I did two. I think one was like, follow, subscribe on social media, and another was sign up for our email newsletter, something like that. And then here I'm going to have to drop the volume down to 50% again. So that'll be fine. listen to the volume difference. So it's approximately the same volume levels. Happy with that. And let's bring it to a close. Let's get to the end. Okay. So now I'm going to listen and focus on the last couple of minutes and just see what that sounds like. Because, you know, I probably started editing this a week or two ago. I don't remember what I did. And I don't remember if the end is a clean ending that brings the podcast episode to a nice conclusion, or if there's like a little bit of chatting at the end and I'm saying, oh, don't worry, we can cut that out, or how did you feel about that? Did that go okay, etc. So I'm going to have a little listen now. I got to bring this volume down a little. You can hear it's a tad loud and people are fighting to be heard over that. So we'll drag that down. I'm going to say 12%. Yeah. Okay, and that's not neat. Okay, we're gonna delete all of this stuff. I'm gonna finish it with thank you so much for hosting me. I really appreciate it. And then the rest I'm deleting. Okay, so let's have a listen now and see what that's like. Good. So let's zoom back out. I'm going to try and look at the timeline all on one bit. All right. So let's just go through this now. We have a little social media, the first section of the podcast, like chapter 1 sort of thing. And then we've got a little social media. We have a chapter 2, other, and that's chapter 3, and then we bring that. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's now, what is this one called? What was, how do I do that? Record images, videos, texts. How do I send you to publishing, hosting? Do I need to start a new one? So let's choose the file. And this was with Susan. Let me type in Susan. The connectors. is this one? Yes, to publish. Okay, cool. So now I'm just going to go off Riverside and I'm going to the Google Doc. Where is my Google Doc? Redefining Leadership is the season's title. Season 3. Going to here. This lady's name is Susan. And I'm going to open the template. So here you can see that we keep everything organized. Like this is how we organize our episodes. And so this one tells me it's going to be released on November 7th. That's good. So I'm going to add here. Okay, it's season 3, episode 4. Okay, so we'll get to publish. I can do it now. Okay, cool. So this was 7th of November, and we'll just change that time to midnight. Excellent. So that's scheduled. And now I'll put in the title. Oh. Okay, I'm going to put in a little comment and let my co-host know that we are ready for share stupid thing. Just because I'm ready to. Hi Joe, this episode is scheduled. Please can I have the content? Thanks. Cool. So we'll save that. And I'm going to call this, for now, I'm just going to call this Susan Reed so that we know that this is Susan's episode. And I'll just say blah, blah. So it's pretty obvious that I need to edit that. Excellent. It's scheduled. I love it. All right. I don't like that. Do you see this? This is not good. We need to standardize our introduction to season 3. I think we'll just do that. And then that's fine. And then, do you see all of these are just text? I think I'm going to delete that season and episode because it's already in the information here, season 3, episode 2. So it's a bit redundant, and I also don't, I prefer it's just all looking the same. So this, for me, looks better. Good. Let's go back. So Susan's is done. Excellent. Love to see that. Let's find the next person. So Susan Reed is episode 69. Episode 70 is Ashley Cox. Okay, good. Okay, let's see if okay, so this hasn't been done. So I'm just going to add a comment now. I'm working on this episode as well. It is due mid-November, so not urgent. I'm going to assign that as a task, and we're going to send yes. Fine. All right. So now Joe knows that I am working on 2 episodes and I am putting them in to Riverside. Excellent, excellent. Oh, I realized that you couldn't see that. Oh well. Let's carry on. We are now work on, oh God, what did I just say? Ashley's. So let's go to our projects and we're going to check out Ashley's episode. Good. So remember I said that we do have some differences. Good morning. Thank you. I hope you do too. Okay. Good. Let's bum bum bum. Man, this internet is not great today. Hmm. Okay. Oh, hello. Okay. Oh, God. Whew, that coffee was too strong. That coffee was way too strong. Good God. I've actually got like goose flesh from that. That's too much. Okay. So let's come back to our work. So we had, we're on Riverside and we're looking at Ashley Cox's episode now. So what Riverside does is it takes in a first recording, and here you can see the recording was like an hour and 4 minutes long. And then it gives you some information on each of these, and it's pretty handy because you can download each person's section. You can download the transcript, which is the words that were spoken, and you can download it as a total clip with everyone on the screen. But what I like to start with is a short segment, like a magic clip, or what do they call them, or a hook, that is like a very quick section that listeners will listen to first, and they'll think, oh, that's interesting, let me keep listening. And then the episode starts and we listen to the rest of it. Excuse me. So let me have a listen to one of these clips. So, belonging and validation in the room. Let's have a listen. that message. I like that. And so that one's a maybe. We can take, oh no, go away. That's to send feedback. I don't want to send feedback. I thought that was just telling me that I liked that clip and I could use it. Let's listen. All right, so now I've got to think what is going to be a more attractive and interesting hook for people to be involved. Do we think people are going to be more interested in finding belonging validation or assuming positive intent? I feel like the belonging and validation is probably the one to go with. Okay. So this is how I do things. Instead of starting with the full episode, I'll choose the hook at the beginning, and then I will put the full episode after that. So okay, so this is our little section. And so let's add at the end. And we're going to add the recording with Ashley. So I'm just going to type in her name. Okay, so here's the full recording. And I'm going to pop that in. Excellent. Ooh, look at this. Who's purple? That's crazy. Do you see that volume is like crunched? I don't like that. That's going to be... Oof. That's very loud. I don't like that. We're going to bring that down to like 20%. Okay, do you see immediately it's sort of the same areas? Looks like I might need to... I want to hear some people talking. Okay. Down a little bit as well. You can hear I'm a little boomy. So let's have a listen. That's, this is very sweet of her to say it's a thrill being on our podcast. How kind. All right. I'm going to add some music. I'm going to add our theme. Here's the theme. And I'm going to drop that volume because we don't want it to be straight in. Okay. Okay, I need all that to go. Don't go to the podcast for a while, trying to recall. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we are. So I'm going to put a cut here. And then all of this stuff I'm going to delete because it's just us chatting. Okay, there was a little clear throat. I'm going to get rid of that. So it'll start straight in with welcome. I'm happy with that. So let's move it up to like around the 15-minute mark. So here we see someone is talking a lot. Ashley. Yeah. And I'll delete this. Go away, delete. Come on. All right, so back in. And I'm going to put a cut here, and we will do the same as with the previous edit. Whoops, not a recording, I want music. Because I've got my shorts already put in here, so good. And I will just bring that down. And then remember that this volume is crazy loud, so I will bring that down, something like that. And let's have a listen from before I talk to the social media to after. I'm going to add that volume a tiny bit. 45 maybe? Yeah. And I'm going to delete that little pause so it goes straight in. Right, good. So that's done. Let's move along. I need to find somewhere around 30 minutes. Who's yellow? Okay, hang on. So, okay, so from here, this is where Jo has a problem with her computer. So I'm going to split that. I'm going to go down to where we know that Jo's come back. Oh, here we go. Okay. I've messed with this again. Something's happened. Okay, where did we leave off? Okay, so we'll start it up again here. So I'm going to split that there. And now we can get rid of this whole section because this is where Jo was having technical difficulties and she dropped off the call and then she came back on the call, etc. So we're just going to delete that. Goodbye. And we're going to go straight into, let's see if this is a sensible. Okay, so that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So I'll put in a little social media snippets. we'll add this little short, and then I will sort of wrap this up for now because I've got to go to a meeting in 5 minutes time. So what was the last volume? It was like 45%, wasn't it? Let's just put in a 45er and let's have a listen. Across. Okay, I'm very loud here. I'm going to drag my volume down a tad. 88. Let's make it 75. Okay, good. So that's actually quite good because we had a messy bit over here where there were technical difficulties. And I cut all that out. And I've allowed Ashley to finish her point here. Then I've put in a social media snippet. And then we're moving on to a new topic, which is about Ashley's book that they've written. So very cool. Let's go through. And let's figure out the end. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Good. And let's put in music for the end. I want to add music. How do I add music? How did I do that? That's going to add it at the beginning. No. Come on. I don't want that there. Let's add the music. Come on. Hey, Brady. So the hypnotist, if you see on the chat, the hypnotist is our amazing music producer, and he produced the music for our first 2 seasons of the podcast and created the 3rd season as well. So very cool. And I'm going to have to drop off soon because I've got to attend a meeting, and I'm going to figure out that, hang on, let me just try one thing. I'll try and drop the theme in and see what happens if it drops to the end of the episode. Are you going to help me? Are you going to be... Oh, okay, so it has done it. Okay. Alrighty. So let's drag that to the end. And now I will have a listen and see what that sounds like. All right, we're going to drop that to like 20%. We're going to have a listen. Perfect. I'm quite happy with that. So that was a successful editing session. We have done a first pass through the Connectors episode with Ashley Cox, which was recorded in September, and that's going to be released in about 3 weeks' time. So I've got time to come back and to have another listen and to finish up things and then to get it ready for publishing and hosting on the platform when I get the content. So very cool, very cool. I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to be heading to my meeting, which starts in 3 minutes, but I hope to see you again and ask for some questions. If you're not sure of what I'm doing or why I'm doing things, then please do get in touch and join the conversation, because it's way more fun. And yeah, another shout out to The Hypnotist. Thank you so much for our music. Love your work, and looking forward to seeing you at your next show. Bye, guys.